Hello and welcome back to the farm. Today's video is about landscaping, more specifically edible landscaping. Now as you can see, I have you pointing, or you get to see, first thing I get to see every time I walk out of into the backyard. And this is a crabapple, high value for birds. Certain birds love the berries. But you can see I have all aspects of things out here. But I want to focus on edible landscaping specifically. You can see I got an elderberry over there that I'm going to turn into heads to block that fence line. Over here is a very good example. I'm going to do the same with that elderberry, trim off the excess wild growth. Same thing with the grapes when it calms down. Trim off the growth, let it take over the fence line. And these are just two examples. Now, what I would recommend is factor in three things. Biggest thing, what do I like? What does my family like? Or friends, if you want to go that far. They spin you around. Second thing, where am I going to put that plant? Example. These blueberries need between 6 to 8 hours of light. Perfect spot. Against the fence line, I can let these things grow up, trim them back in their heads. During the fall months, these leaves will go bright red because they're related to azaleas. Another thing to consider. And you don't have to plant a tree. You can plant, I've seen cherry trees that grow about as big as this tree. Perfectly fine. Hazelnuts is another example. If you live in a tropical zone, you could do avocado, limes, oranges. You could also do out here peaches, apricots, figs. Again, you have to check to make sure it's good for location. Second thing I would tell you in consideration is don't forget about nature. Birds. Birds are natural predators to insects. You have a lot of bad insects that will like to come in here and eat the plants that you're trying to grow. Bring the birds in, that's a natural free pest control. Same thing with the insects. You have good insects and bad insects. Bring them in, don't fight them. And you see right over there, there's a good example. You have a robin on that fence line. Those are ways of controlling. I apologize about my neighbors. Or you got to consider bees and butterflies. Pollination to enhance the crop. Again, my battery's a little low, so I'm trying to be a lot quicker with this. Plus, the average video length is not that very long, so I'm trying to downsize my videos. You also need to consider certain flowers to blend in for the pollination. Like here's an example. I got fall sunflowers, early sunflowers, forget what they call them, but this brings the bees in. Then they find blackberry bush, and look how many blackberries I have on here. So it all works in tandems. But don't forget about your everythings. You see I have my tomatoes along this fence line, and you can see how these tomatoes are looking compared to the size of my hand. Here's another example. And these tomatoes will grow along this fence. But if you want more of a compact bush, you have raspberries. Here's some examples. You can also use, we call honeyberries, which is edible honeysuckle. You see right there. That will grow in a bush that I can cut off and block this fence. So don't just get hung up on one aspect. You can also use your plants like basil, oregano, parsley, or I think this is cilantro, to be honest, as well. So don't be afraid to experiment. Add to things. If you don't want to dig in the ground, you can use containers. A guy ordered some cold hardy oranges that hopefully get to me soon, that can withstand down to 10 degrees. Now I will have to bring them inside in the cold days, but they are ornamental. They're not true oranges. I can make lemonade with them, but that's an example. And I could put them in a pot. So again, I know this is a quick video, but I'm not trying to bore you. I'm just trying to give you very direct, quick informational bits that you can process, and hopefully this will give you a spark of inspiration. Also, I forgot, but you can use sunflowers as a hedge too. I have some sunflowers in the garden just to act as a pollination magnet, but also to block the fence. So take a look at what you have. You go, you know, I like to have, for example, this spot, I like to have a tree. Go for it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it or what you want to plant. I'm just giving you ideas and suggestions. But this has been Tulsa Urban Farmer. Thanks for joining. Catch me in the next video. And as always, feel free to like, sub, or leave a comment. And good evening.